Hey everybody, how are you guys doing today? It's Sunday and I am just finished cleaning house, and I thought I would hop on here and make a piece of resin art using crushed glass and this adorable turtle. So I'm gonna be moving kind of fast because I've got to mix the resin. That takes 3 minutes, and then I have a machine that I want to show you guys that I am trying out, and I'm thinking it's pretty daggone good. So let me share this video out. If you're not over in Jill's Creative Side, go join that group. That's my private group where I run certain specials for them, and we do giveaways and all the fun stuff. So I want to make sure and share this out to them. Okay, so you guys probably saw the post of the resin art that I've been making. These are more like beachy themed because it is summertime, but I'm looking forward to making some winter and mountainous kind of things like this art using the crushed glass, which I'm loving how these are turning out. And so I've had a couple people request a video on how to do this, so here we are, we're gonna do it. And this is the 8x10 that I absolutely love with the seahorse. I'm loving this, you guys. And all this is glass, crushed glass, and then resin to stain it into a picture frame. And it's on glass, so it is so pretty, you guys. All right, so first things I'm gonna do is mix up the resin, and then I'm gonna put it in this machine back here, which is it's the Resiner's Airless Pro Bubble Remover Machine, and I tried it with the art resin, and that worked out really good. It like does this gas thing, gets rid of the bubbles. It's very cool, and if you work with resin, you know how much of a pain bubbles can be. So today I'm gonna be using Let's Resin epoxy resin, which I've never used before. So we're gonna see how this does. It's supposed to be like no bubbles, but there is no resin that you're gonna buy that's gonna have no bubbles. There's just no way. So I had these sitting in they call it a warm bath. I just put some hot water in a container and put the resin in there for like 20 minutes, probably actually been 30 minutes or longer. That just warms up the resin because my craft room is in the basement and it's cooler down here, and your resin needs to be not real thick. Now this is medium viscosity resin. So the art resin that I've been using is high viscosity, so which means it's thicker. So these need to sit in a warm bath as well. I'm just gonna stick those in there because I might use those when I get done here. So we're gonna see if this really is how it does with bubbles, but we're gonna put it in the machine after I get done mixing it. So you gotta mix it equal parts. So the hardener and the hardener and the resin, you're gonna put one, whatever you do. If it's an ounce, you got to put an ounce of each one. It's got to be 50-50 exactly, or your resin's not going to cure properly. So I have a measuring cup that I'm going to pour it in after I measure it. But these little cups right here I got from the Dollar Tree, and these are 1 ounce cups. So I'm going to move this over here so I don't get mixed up. So I'm going to put part B in one, and we're going to do it exactly the same. So I'm going to show you just how we mix it. Like I said, if you don't, and you need to wear the protective gloves. You need to make sure you have ventilation and all that. So disclaimer, please use the proper PPE when you're using resin because it is a chemical. So you need to take all the safety precautions. So I'm just gonna fill this up because it is a 1 ounce cup. So we're gonna fill it all the way to the top without running it over. And then I'm gonna do the same for the other. And I love working with resin, but it can be a pain if you have a lot of bubbles. That's why I went ahead to try this machine, and it worked good on the art resin. The only thing with art resin, since it's a high viscosity, it's gonna, you've got to do smaller amounts because it almost ran over the cup. Like, I can only put 1 ounce in this cup. It's going to rise up and run over. That's the only thing that about the art resin that I was not crazy about. So these are exactly even. 1 and 1. You got to make sure you mix it 1 and 1. Or like I said, it won't cure properly. Okay, so now I'm going to pour each part in this cup. I'm going to go in and scrape all the sides, make sure I get all of it in there, because you want to make sure you get it all in there, because then your ratio is not going to be exact when you go, if you don't get it all, if that makes sense. Okay, so we got all that one, I think. And the resin came with this cool little silicone stick, but normally I would use a popsicle stick or a plastic knife. Whatever you have. All right, so now I'm going to pour this one in and make sure it all gets in there. And I mean, I see bubbles already, so there's no resin on earth, I don't think, that is completely bubble free. I've tried so many, but the art resin, I really like it, but the bubbles was what was killing me. And it may be the temperature down here also that plays a good part in things. All right, so we've got it all in there, and so we have 2 ounces, and so I'm just going to stir it in the same direction for 3 minutes. Okay, it's 2:44, so at 2:47 this will be 3 minutes. So I'm going to just stir it slowly, and I'm going to stir it in the same direction. I'm going to be scraping the sides and the bottom as we go. And I know you guys have probably seen me mix the resin before, but I just wanted to do the whole thing with you guys. And then we're going to put it in that bubble machine, or bubble removing machine, and see how well it does with the Let's resin. So there was good reviews on the Let's resin. It's less expensive than the art resin. The art resin has major good reviews, and I do like it. It is made in the USA. It's odor free pretty much, and it just has a lot of good things about it. So I bought that first, and I'm going to continue to use that. But I wanted to try the Let's resin in the bubble machine, because it says since it's medium viscosity, it's going to sit in that machine for 10 minutes. And I'm not sure if it's going to run over in this cup or not, but we're going to find out. So if it starts to run over, you can stop the machine and restart it. So if it does get to the top before it runs over, I will stop it and pour some of this in another cup. That's what I had to do with the art resin. And I mean, it does take the bubbles out, y'all. It did on the art resin. I'm hoping that this Let's resin does as well, because it's cheaper. But I have a gallon of the art resin already, because I've got so many things that I want to do for fall, and I want to use the resin and the crushed glass, not just on the picture frames, but on other items like painted things, like signs and stuff. So I'm super excited to start making fall things, even though it's super hot. Now, it's getting dark outside, so if it is a thunderstorm, I have to turn off our internet, or it blows out our internet port. If that happens during this live, I will continue just doing a regular video and post that later. So hopefully we'll be okay. So if anybody is on and you're commenting, I'm not seeing comments, so just let me know if you're on, and maybe I'll see comments at some point. But if you have questions and I don't see your comments, I will go back and answer your questions. So I know that, a couple of you wanted me to do this to show you how. I mean, it's a process, but I enjoy it. So I enjoy anytime I can create things and share it with you guys. So right now I don't have any scheduled events until September. So I have some time to get started on fall, winter, and Christmas, because Christmas is 6 months away, y'all. Just wanted to throw that out there. Now I will say about this resin here, I do see bubbles, but not near as many as I have seen before with other resin while stirring it. So hopefully this is gonna be like a good thing. Like I said, it's cheaper. And I've been ordering a lot off of Amazon. I didn't used to do Amazon, but we got Prime to watch the NASCAR races. And so with Amazon Prime, you get 2-day shipping. And I'm telling y'all, there's so much stuff that I've ordered that I need that they get it here in 2 days, and it's cheap. So just throwing it out there. If y'all need something and you don't want to go out and get it and you don't need it for a couple days, check out Amazon. And their Prime days are coming up July 8th through 11th, I think. So let's see. Yep, okay, so we've been stirring for 3 minutes. So this is what, I don't know if you can see, but it's pretty clear. I mean, there's bubbles in there, but normally when I'm doing this, there's bubbles like everywhere. So I'm just gonna sit this on the top of this stick, and I'm gonna put this into the resin machine. Okay, so this is what it looks like, and it lights up on top, and you can set the timer to go for however many minutes you want. So this resin, since it's medium viscosity, it only takes 10 minutes. The art resin takes 15 minutes, and if it doesn't get all the bubbles, you can set it for a little bit longer. So I don't know what I got on this thing. Let me clean that with a little bit of alcohol, because I don't want any kind of dust getting in that resin. And you need to have this on like a stable table because it does vibrate a little bit. But it's so cool. All right, so I'm just gonna take this and put it inside this container here. So it's just this clear container. And you can set multiple cups in here. So I'm just gonna sit that there. I'm gonna put this down, and it has a vacuum release valve on the back. And you do that, you make sure that's plugged in, or make sure that's closed up, because then when it's done with the 10 minutes, then you'll pull that out and it'll release the air. So I'm gonna put this down. And then I'm gonna plug it in. And then I'm going to set it for 10 minutes. And there, and I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna kind of keep an eye on it as we're getting the frame ready, just to make sure. All right, so what I did was I removed the back of the frame. I glued the glass on the back to the frame using A6000. And so we're gonna use the front. So we're going to tape the back of it just to make sure that no resin leaks. You don't want to ruin your project. So I'm just going to tape down in case any resin wants to get through the glue. If you have tape here, it'll save your project. So tape is always your friend when you do resin. So I'm just taping this up so that if there is a leak, the tape will catch it and your project will not be ruined. I don't think it's working right. Because this number is supposed to go all the way to 100. So let me stop this. Oh, I don't think I had the plug in all the way. Let's see if it. Yeah, something's not right with this. So let me see what's going on. Okay, now it's working. I don't think I had the lid pushed down far enough. So when this reaches like 90 or 98, then it's gonna start, you're gonna see the bubbles start up. I wish y'all could see that more, but it's pretty cool. I just want to make sure that it doesn't run over when it gets up. So it's on 70 now. It's very cool. It's the Airless Pro bubble remover. It's really neat. All right, it's at 84, so it shouldn't be too much longer, and it's going to start rising a little bit with those bubbles. I'm anxious to see what the Let's Resin does since it's the medium viscosity. I'm curious. All right, so all I did was tape all around the seams, so in case it leaks, we're covered. It will cure, and you can take the tape off and you won't ruin your project. Okay, so what we're going to be using next is Art Shattered. Is where I got this glass from. It's just crushed glass, and this is Starlight Classic. So that's going to be like the top part around the turtle, and then I'm going to use this crushed shell that I got from Deep South Shelling Company in Florida. So we're going to mix both of these together. It's got a lot of bubbles in that now. So I'm just going to get a small cup and mix some of this shell together to make like a wave for the turtle. These are so fun to make. So let me know if you guys are on, and if you're catching this on a replay. All right, so I'm gonna try to mix this. This cup might be. Okay, that's doing really good. It's not rising all the way to the top of the cup like the Art Resin did. So I'm super excited. So I'm just mixing the brown and the blue shells. I'm gonna go ahead and pour it back in here. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna pour this glass down, and we're gonna come up kind of like to make a wave, sorta. Just wanna keep an eye on that. And I wanna make sure it gets all the way to the frame. You don't wanna go over top of the frame, you just wanna get it, you know, in. And then you can actually use a paintbrush, just a dry paintbrush, to move your glass around if you need to, instead of touching it. But, so that, basically that's what you're doing. And you're putting the shells or the glass where you want it to come up with your own art. It's so fun, you guys, and it's just so, I don't know, relaxing to create, I think. So I'm trying to make this look like a wave. I'm gonna go ahead and mix a little bit more. Y'all, that resin looks like it hardly has any bubbles. I'm so excited. Actually, let me just do this. I don't think we need a whole lot more. And you can, like, you know, you can always start over if you put it down and you don't like it. You can always just take it back up and start it, as long as you do it before you put the resin on there. But this is, I love learning new things and sharing them with you guys. So I was excited somebody wanted to see how to do this, and I'm always excited to show you guys new stuff. So I'm just kind of moving the shells around to make a little wave. And then you can go back and put more shells if you need. More shells up here. And this is an 8x10 frame. And I have some, I have a 5x7. Also, and it comes with the back. I just remove all this and keep the glass. And I love these weathered looking frames. Love, love, love. All right, so what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna put the turtle down. Okay, so here's my little turtle. I'm just gonna put him like that. I'll show you if you can see how that wave is coming right around him. And then I'm gonna put down some clear. So we're done with that. And so now this is just clear cut. And just be careful if you're using crushed glass because it can cut you. It is sharp. So I'm gonna pour some of this in a cup. And it's just clear glass. Looks like ice almost. So I'm just gonna take that and pour it out on the glass. This is kind of gonna be like your water. It's so pretty. I'm like obsessed with making these. They are so much fun. It's amazing what it looks like when you're done. And I want to make sure I get it all to the edge of the frame, just not going over it. And you can move it around if you've got chunks in there that you think are too big. You can take them out. But it's super fun. I can't believe how clear that resin is in that thing. Ugh, that may be my new favorite. Alright, so we're going to keep going with that. Once I get all the glass down, then I can move it around or whatever before we pour the resin. And try not to mess up the wave. And y'all, can you believe that Tuesday's July 1st? It's crazy. And you could put glue on the bottom of the turtle if you wanted to, but I'm telling you that the resin's gonna hold it. It's not gonna go anywhere. All right, so I'm putting this down. And I'm just making sure that I've got the pieces where I want them and all that fun stuff. And then I don't have any bare spots because I want everything covered because this is like an ocean, kind of like water. So I don't want, and 2 ounces will do this, no problem. It probably would take less than that actually, but I went ahead and mixed up 2. So I think I have everything where I need it. I mean, it's super easy to get the glass down there if you have an idea of what you want it to do. And so we've got the blue and the brown shell going around and coming up like a wave. And then we have all the clear glass. So, and then all we'll do is pour the resin. So that worked out really good because it's almost done in that bubble machine. And I didn't know if that thing was going to work or not, you know, and it did. We took the bubbles out, but the other resin, it was way too, you have to use such small amounts in that machine or it flows over, which is not a big deal, really. But if I can do 2 ounces at one time, that's great. But you can put like 2 cups in there, and an ounce in each one. I just felt like you're wasting a cup. But I bought some of these at Sam's or BJ's yesterday just to use for the art resin. But this is, it looks like it's crystal clear, y'all. I'm not kidding you, it's crazy. So I have everything the way I want it. So if you see spots where you want just a little more, you just add a little more and you just keep going until you have it exactly the way you want it, and then you put the resin in. So easy. And I mean, you can use any colors. I have several. I have some really pretty orange that I can't wait to paint a pumpkin. I want to do a pumpkin on those long oar boards that I did the American flag on. I want to do pumpkins on that. So a black background and the orange pumpkins with some orange crushed glass on the pumpkin is going to be so pretty. So, so pretty, I think. Okay, so I think I have everything the way I want it. And I'm going to throw on my glasses so I can see what I'm doing when I put the resin down. But it looks really good. And I'm using the chunkier clear because if you use like really thin crushed glass, it kind of disappears in the resin. So that's really cool. All right, so I'm gonna release this valve back here to let that pressure out, and hopefully we won't have any bubbles. We'll see. And I'm using a mat that the resin does not stick to, so that's, I'm gonna unplug that. I'm gonna give it a second, and then I'm gonna take that lid off. This is I can never remember, oh my gosh, I can never remember the name of it when I'm talking about it. Silicone mat. It won't, the resin will just pop right off of it. I'm gonna give it another minute. If you take the lid off too quick, it's hard to get the lid off. So, what do you guys think so far? This is gonna be so pretty. I love making these. These are so much fun. And it looks so cool with this frame. Oh my gosh, it's just awesome. Yeah, there's like literally no bubbles in this at all. That is crazy. All right, so I am going to go ahead and start. I'm going to use this to pour the resin in there. I guess I don't need to clean that off. Yeah, I don't want to clean that with a paper towel. So there's a couple bubbles in there. Not very many. So I'm just gonna drizzle using this onto the glass. And I'm gonna go around the turtle first. I go around him. I don't go on top of that turtle because you don't need to do that. It's gonna stick. The resin is gonna help it stick right there. And you just wanna be careful when you dip your resin out. You might have drips on the cup and you don't wanna get it on the frame. But if you do, you can get that off. It pops right off after like 12 hours. If you check it, it'll pop right off, the resin. If it fully cures, it won't pop off. It'll be harder to get that off. So I'm just drizzling around that turtle so that he'll stick. And you can put the resin underneath him if you want, but I really don't think you're gonna need to do that. He's gonna stick where he is. I'm super impressed with this resin, and the amount of bubbles that I'm seeing is insane. Like, I can count them. It's crazy. All right, so I'm around him pretty good. So now I'm just gonna start drizzling on the glass and all the way around the frame. And I don't pour it because you don't really have a lot of control. If you pour it, it's just gonna start pouring everywhere. So drizzling it is much better. And if you see a drip or something on the frame while you're doing this, you can wipe it up with alcohol once you get done, but I'm trying not to get any on the frame. And so I'm just going around the edge of the frame and just drizzling it. That's all you do. And you can pour it if you want. I like to have a little bit more control of where that resin is going and not overfill it. Now that glue that I glued the glass down on the frame is, what did I say that was? B6000 or whatever that stuff is called. E6000. And I just glue it down. I usually let it sit overnight, but I did this earlier today, so it should be okay. And we've got the tape there in case there's any leaks. And then once the resin cures, you don't have to worry about it. You can once you take the tape off, that everything will be cured, so you'll be good. So now I'm just going to start drizzling it over everything. And just make sure I get it everywhere really good. so that nothing falls off. It's just so, I don't know, for me it's relaxing. Now this resin does have a smell to it, so you might want to wear a ventilator or something, respirator, whatever they're called, or open a window or have a fan getting that smell out, because it is a chemical. And epoxy resin, it starts curing in, like, I think you have like 45 minutes before it'll start getting so thick you can't work with it. But we have plenty of time, because you know, you mix it for 3, then you're putting it in the machine for 10. You have plenty of time to get the project done before it gets to that point. And even though I'm putting this stick in there and getting that resin out, I still don't see but a very few bubbles at all. So I'm pretty impressed with that machine and this resin, actually, because I mean, literally, I'm not seeing but just very few, and I don't even think those are bubbles. I think it's the glare off the glass. But this looks so pretty once it's cured. And that's basically all you do, is you just drizzle it all over your project. Make sure you have everything covered all the way to the edge. And I don't usually like to get it on the frame, like you don't want to go over top of the frame. I've got a little piece of glass right there. But it makes the prettiest art pieces when you're done. Oh my goodness, it's just amazing. So this is my newest venture, and I can't wait to do it on some signs. I've actually done a few smaller signs with the turtle, but I want to do some mountain themed signs. But it looks like we are about finished. I don't see where I have missed anything. And this resin is self-leveling, so it should level out on its own as it cures. But you want to get, you know, make sure that you've got it all around the frame and no gaps or anything. And that took 2 ounces, so that's good. I mean, it's an 8x10 frame, so no problems with that. All right, so I'm gonna look and make sure that I have everything covered really good. Now let me get an eye view. Little drip on the frame that I'm going to go over, but I'm also going to go over it with alcohol, because if you don't, it'll be like a shiny spot. I don't see any more, and it looks like everything is covered. So that's awesome, you guys. So that is finished. Now I'm not going to pick it up and show it to you, because I don't want it to move. But what I am going to do, and I didn't even think about this, but I'm going to put a cover over it to keep the dust from getting on it. But literally, I don't see any bubbles. So that machine, thumbs up, y'all. So I bought these little covers. They're like food tents. I don't know. They're cheap on Amazon to cover it. So just set this over it. But it's going to go inside. It's going to get on that resin, which is okay. So that's going to keep any dust from getting in the project. So what do you guys think? You like it? You don't like it? Let me know what you think in the comments. Like I said, I'm not seeing any comments. So if you're commenting and I'm not answering you, I'm super sorry. But I will go back and read comments and answer any questions that you guys might have. But that is it for the project. I can't wait to show you when it cures. So it'll be 2 days. I think it's 2 days for a full cure. So that's it. We've got a turtle project in the mix. I can't wait for you guys to see it. Let's end up with a devotion, and then I'm gonna hop off here and fix a couple projects. So today's June 29th. Good grief, y'all. Time is going too fast. All right, Feast of Peace. This is just a little devotional book I like to read after all my lives. So this says, Feast of Peace. I am leaving you with a gift, peace of mind and heart. And the peace I give is a gift the world cannot give. So don't be troubled or afraid. John 14:27. In a world that is so chaotic and conflicted, it seems naively idealistic to talk about peace, but peace is one of the gifts that God offers us through Jesus Christ. It is an eternal truth that all who love and serve God will experience his peace in their personal lives. For those who have God's peace, it does not mean that they will escape the problems and sorrows of life. It means that they possess something more precious than the spirit of times in which we live. Christ's peace is not a passive quality that shuts our eyes to the harsh reality, but creates a positive approach to life based on the belief in the trustworthiness of God. Praise the Lord Jesus. You came to bring peace. Thank you for the peace of this glorious truth ruling in my own heart. Amen. So yeah, it is chaotic times right now, but he's gonna bring us peace, y'all. All right. So if you have questions, just drop them in the comments. I will go back and look at all of them and answer any of your questions. I can't wait to show you the finished product. I hope you guys have a wonderful week ahead. And the 4th of July is next weekend. I still have a couple patriotic door hangers and signs. If you want one of those, just reach out to me. And thank you guys so much for being on here. And if you have something you want to see me create, just let me know. I'll see if I can do that for you guys. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. You guys take care.